Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to historic Watertown Stadium. At this time, we would invite you to stand, face the American flag, remove your caps, place your hand over your hearts, and give respect to our American flag as Great Plains Lutheran High School sophomore Miranda Bisick sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proud? Oh my gosh. Is that the words? Yes. So proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Tonight's contest is between the Hamlin Chargers and the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers. The two schools participating in this event are members of the South Dakota High School Activities Association, which have adopted the rules under which the games are conducted. A strong commitment to excellence, fair play, and sportsmanship are all vital to this activity's success. Remember, good sportsmanship begins with you. And now let's meet tonight's starters. First, the Hamlin cheerleaders. Summer Roddershot. Journey Meyer. Carly Haas. Claire St. Pierre. Kylie Wadsworth. Gabby Mishke. Jamie Jutinen. And Taryn Opdahl. The Charger cheerleaders are coached by Bobby Euchre and Janice McDonnell. Now let's meet the night's starters for the Hamlin Chargers. First, at cornerback, a 6'2" junior, number 3, Connor Bowden. At defensive end, a 6'1" senior, number 8, Hayden Cruz. At defensive back, a 5'9" senior, number 13, Caleb Haas. At linebacker, a 5'11" senior, number 21, Bryce Williams. At defensive end, a 6'1" junior, number 22, Mitchell Noam. Also at linebacker, a 5'9" senior, number 25, Chase Neiman. Another linebacker, a 5'11" sophomore, number 28, Nash Grantham. At linebacker, a 5'11" junior, number 53, Trevor Thu. And at defensive tackle, a 6'4" senior, number 76, John Rowe. The Chargers are coached by Jeff Sheehan and assisted by Brock Anderson, Chris Lather, and Tim McDonald. And now, your Great Plains Lutheran Panther starters. First, your junior Panthers, a third grader, Griffin Dieterlein. Another third grader, Jeremiah Martins. A fifth grader, Micah Holeen. Also a fifth grader, Maverick Dieterlein. And a fifth grader, Landon Zerwan. Now your Panther starters. At tight end, a 5'11" junior, number 5, Charlie Beck. At running back, a 5'8" senior, number 10, Ryan Remley. Your quarterback, a 5'11" senior, number 21, Aiden Holeen. At wide receiver, a 5'10" sophomore, number 22, Caleb Roberts. Also at running back, a 5'6" junior, number 23, Riley Reisman. At tight end, a 6' senior, number 33, Tristan Charlemagne. On the line, a 5'10" senior, number 52, Caleb Boyum. Also on the line, a 6'4" sophomore, number 70, Dawson Wartank. And at center, a 6'2" sophomore, number 81, Joe Tischer. The Panthers are coached by Aaron Schleusner and assisted by Tony Hansen, Darren Mack, Rod Nelner, and Jacob Burry. Our officials for tonight are Steve Van Heerdy, Jeff Jorgensen, Troy Johnson, Paul Schmig, and Dan Runia. Now let's play some football.
And we'd like to welcome you to Great Plains Lutheran High School football. We're going to go on some technical tests here to make sure we're working. Ooh, there we go.
Second.
It's a little bit loud in my ears. Yeah. Okay. That's right there. Gotcha.
Yours is this one.
As the captains are out at midfield doing the coin toss and introductions, again, not sure if everything was recorded right away, so welcome to those of you who are tuning in through our broadcast on YouTube to Great Plains Lutheran High School football here. Middle of the season. The opponent for this evening is the Hamlin Chargers. Hamlin's a pretty close team just down the road, next county over, and we'll get to see what the Chargers have for a team this year tonight. I'm Mike Haugley, the athletic director.
And I'm Matthew Foxon.
And we're proud to be able to present Panther football on the air for the first year. Some of you were able to follow us last time we had a home game 2 weeks ago against the Dual Cardinals. That was kind of like our beta test to make sure all our technology worked, and we're able to give you a little bit more as far as and then looks like Hamlin's going to receive the opening kickoff. We're glad to be able to present this to you. This is only because of the generosity of Vast Broadband, a internet and cable provider here in Watertown. And so we thank them for allowing this to happen and bring football to all of you that weren't able to make it to Watertown tonight. Captains are returning back to their respective sidelines. They indicated that the Panthers are going to be kicking off. and we'll get things started here shortly. There's a pretty strong wind, as always seems to be the case out here in South Dakota.
Right.
And the Panthers are going to have the wind at their back in the first quarter. So for those of you that are tuning in, if you're able to see us and hear us cleanly, that's the idea. If there's any problems throughout the broadcast, perhaps if our internet gets slow or something, or if you can't hear us well, or if things aren't able to be seen, and it's a problem on our part, please send us a message so that we can make the necessary changes. Ryan Remley lines up to get this game started. A senior kicker. And back to receive for the Chargers, number 25, Chance Neiman. You'll hear his name a lot. And it's a squib kick. Rolling towards the sideline. It stays inbounds. And it's returned by Neiman. And he's brought down by
81.
Joe Tischer, a sophomore for the Panthers.
Number 25, Chance Neiman on the return, brought down by number 81, Joe Tischer.
So the Chargers are going to start shop at the 39-yard line
Nathan Bean.
to start their first drive of the game. Well, Mr. Foxen, the Chargers are a perennial powerhouse, and it sounds like they're very talented again this year. They're led by a couple seniors. You're going to hear their names a lot. Number 21, Bryce Williams, is the quarterback. He's lined up there in the shotgun, and his running mate, Chance Neiman, 25. You'll hear those names a lot. Looks like they're going to try to pass it on the first play of the game, and it is broken up. Defense there by senior number 10, Ryan Remley.
Williams pass incomplete, intended for number 20, Hayden Euchre.
Nice
Ryan
job of
Remley
undercutting that
on
route there
coverage
by
there,
the
number
senior.
10.
Right.
The biggest difference that I see when I look at the two sidelines
Second and 10.
is that Hamlin just is got a lot of guys compared to the Panthers. And that's been one of the things that's been a problem for the Panthers. You're going to see a lot of guys out there all night long. They play both offense and defense. Second snap is a handoff up the middle. I believe that this is Neiman.
That's number 25.
And
Neiman
he
up
scrambles up
brought
the
down
middle
by
right to
number
about the
24,
midfield
Jan
line. That's
Gringa.
enough for a first down. Run of about 11 yards. Tackles by Jan Andringa.
And that'll be a first down.
Number
Chargers will have the
24
ball
for the
midfield.
Panthers. He's only a sophomore. And you're going to see that there are a lot of underclassmen that the Panthers use. And that's just a sign of who the guys are that play football. We have a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores that play, and they're learning. And that's the biggest thing, that they keep on learning. By the time they're upperclassmen, they'll be big-time contributors.
Should be a nice team.
We got a handoff again to Neiman trying to get around the outside. Nice tackle by Aiden Holine, one of our senior leaders. If you've been around Panther
Chance
football,
Neiman
you
tries to get
recognize
outside,
that
but it's
name.
brought down by number
He's been
21, Aiden Holine.
Making plays for all 4 years.
No
He's
gain
now
on
his
the
senior
play,
year.
brings up second and 10.
We'll call it a gain of no yards. So second and 10 here for the Panthers. Opening drive, just under 11 minutes to go here as we get started. Hamlin, looks like every play so far they've been putting wide receivers far to the outside, trying to spread our defense out. Quarterback's going to keep this one. Looking deep, has a receiver, and it's bobbled and dropped. Wow, there was a couple guys that had a chance to catch that one, Mr. Foxen.
Almost picked off by 21.
Aiden Holine. Yep. But three guys had a chance to catch that.
Number 32, Devin Wheelberg, broke up.
Third and 10.
21, Aiden
See if the
Holine
Panther
brings up
defense
third
can
down.
make
Let's
a
make
play
some noise,
here.
Panther fans. Again, they spread it out wide. And
It's a keeper up the middle. And a lineman, Tristan Charlemagne, number 33, makes the play. A minimal gain, kind of an interesting call. They're running it on 3rd and 10.
QB keeper by Williams, brought down by number 33, Tristan
Again,
Charlemagne.
Tristan Charlemagne being a senior leader for this team.
Gain of 4 on the play. That'll bring up 4th down and about 6.
Now, Mr. Fox, in the NFL, this is almost
From the
always a
Panther
go-for-it
47.
situation on the plus side of the 50-yard line. So we'll see what the Chargers do here.
Right.
Looks like they're going to line up to go for it. 4th and 6. Quarterback is going to keep this one. Again, he has a receiver downfield, and it is complete. Cutting towards the end zone, and in for the touchdown is number 32, Devin
Williams
Wheelberg.
pass completes number 32, Devin
A
Wheelberg.
6'1" junior. Kind of a gutsy
touchdown
call there,
pass.
throwing it deep on 4th down, Mr. Foxon.
Yeah.
Looked like the Panther defense was thinking of something a little shorter, and they got caught sleeping behind them. This is also an interesting dynamic of 9-man football. If teams decide to kick extra points or go for 2, it looks like here Hamlin's going to try to get the extra point. Kick is
Nice
away.
kick. It's
Looks good.
good.
Yep. And so the first score of the night
Extra
goes
point is
to
good
the
by number
Hamlin
10,
Chargers.
Hunter Burney.
They lead 7-0, and the time on the clock is 9 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the first quarter. I'd like to maybe mention that the weather is kind of iffy today. We've had rain on and off, chance of storms tonight. We'll keep our eye on the weather. Hopefully we can get this game in before anything comes. Looked like the Panthers' defense was holding up there pretty well until that last play, Mr. Foxon.
It did, yeah.
And so the Chargers will come to kick this ball off. Their kicker is number 10, Hunter Burney. And back for the Panthers is number 5, Charlie Beck,
Number 10,
and
Hunter
number
Beard to kick off the
23,
Chargers.
Riley
Back to receive the Panthers,
Reisman.
number 5, Charlie Beck, and number 23, Riley Reisman.
We have lots of freshmen and sophomores on kick coverage and kick return, so hopefully they can get some blocks here and open up some lanes for our returners. It's been a pretty productive part of our play here. This one's away. It's going to bounce to Beck, and he's going to return it up the middle, and he's going to run into several Chargers around the 30-yard line.
Charlie Beck on the return for the Panthers.
Looks like the
brought
bottom
down
of that
by
pile was
kind of a
number
swarm of Chargers
34.
there. Panthers will have the
Cameron
ball
Hugh.
at the
He's a
31-yard
freshman.
line. It'll be first
And so the
and 10.
Panthers set up shop for their first possession at the 31. Panthers have seniors at the skill positions, quarterback and running back and tight end, and they've got a lot of youth on the line, and that's really a key to the Panthers' success is how the line is able to provide protection for the quarterback and also holes for the running backs. Pauline takes the first snap and hands it up the middle to Riley Reisman. And not a lot on that first
Number 23,
play.
Riley Reisman up the middle there.
That was tackled by big number 76. He's a big guy, Mr. Fox, and he's
Brought down
6'4".
Wow.
He weighs, according to this program,
Number
he's
72
272
Cole.
pounds. That's a grown man right there.
Awesome.
That is,
One on the
that
play
is.
brings
How
up
tall are
Quite
you?
the high
11,
schooler. I'm 6'6".
All right, so you would still look down to him, but I would not. And that I'd look down to most people, 6'2". All right, second play here. Panthers line up in the same formation. 2 running backs behind Holine. Again up the middle. This time it is Ryan Remley. Oh, looks like the ball may have squirted out at the end there. Not sure what the call is here. The officials are going
Ryan
to
Remley,
discuss it.
number 10 for GPL on the carry there.
Certainly would not like to see a turnover on the first drive, and he was down by contact. Sets up
Bryce
3rd and long,
Williams
but at
for
least the
Hamlin
Panthers still have
on
the ball.
tackle. Brings up 3rd.
Try to
and
get the
about
Panthers
8.
starting lineup here for you on offense.
On the
Linemen include
33.
number 70, Dawson Wartink. The center is number 81, Joe Tischer. On the center's right side is senior Caleb Boyum. Playing tight end is number 5, Charlie Beck. Playing wide receiver on the far side of the field right now is number 22, Caleb Roberts. Holine is the quarterback with Remley and Reisman gets the ball right there. Looks like the Chargers were expecting a run up the middle.
Hand off to
Looked
number
like maybe
23,
he
Riley
lost a
Reisman.
yard there. It's going to bring up 4th and long.
Tackle at the line of scrimmage, but number 22, Mitchell Noam. Brings up 4th and 10.
One of the key players that the Panthers have absent of today's game is senior Nick Hansen, and he usually does the punting duties. To replace him is another senior, Tristan Charlemagne. Back deep for the Chargers is number 25, Chance Neiman. The punt's away from Charlemagne. It's going to bounce and bound and fielded at about the 30 by Neiman. He's got the sideline here. And a little over pursuit by the Panthers. But coming back to make the play for the Panthers is number 21,
25, Chance
Aiden
Neiman
Holine.
returns
Nice
Charlemagne's
return there by
punt.
Neiman.
Down to the
Of about
43,
25
brought down
yards.
by Aiden Holine, and then a couple others there to help him finish it.
So you mentioned that Nick is out of the game right now. He's out with an injury to his foot.
Yeah.
It'll be first
Sounds
and
like
10,
next week should be a
Chargers
go.
at the
Yeah.
But this
42.
is maybe his second or third game that he's missed. And when you have a senior out, that's a big deal.
Especially for a team like this. Yeah.
Yep. We have a signal here from the head official that signaled a sideline warning to the Hamlin side. Basically what that means is that the bench players or coaches got too close to the field and an official ran into him, and that's a no-no. So there's no penalty assessed on the first time. It's like the warning. The second time is when there'll be a 15-yard penalty assessed. So every sideline has a get-back coach, and they do exactly what it sounds like. They yell at their players if they're too close, and they say, get back. Even you'll see that in the NFL. All right, second possession for the Chargers here. Again, 3 wide receivers, just like the first drive. And a handoff up the middle to Neiman. Breaks through one tackle, but not the second. Good initial pressure by Reisman. And Holine cleans it up
Hand off
after
to
a
number
gain of
25, Chance Neiman,
4.
brought down by number 21, Aiden Holine.
About 7
Gain
minutes
of about
left on the
4 on the
clock.
play.
We've got second
Brings
down.
up 2nd and 6 at the
and about 6.
38.
Players that are in now that weren't in earlier. Number 51, Austin Biller, is a sophomore. You can see him by the football right there. He's a sophomore playing on the line. Also on the line is number 18, Braden Schultz. He's a freshman. Nice sized freshman at that, coming in at 177 pounds. So we'll see if we have some fresh legs that can get in towards the quarterback. Chargers are a little late getting to the line here. This might be a delay of game, actually. Yep, here comes the flag. They took too long getting the play in, so that's going to cost the Chargers 5 yards.
Delay of game.
Not sure if it was on the screen for you to see at home or not, but the official in the back behind the defense is in charge of the time. And when it gets down to 5 seconds, he starts to put his hand in the air, and that's
That'll
supposed to
make it
signal to the
2nd and
quarterback,
11
you better hurry up.
43.
And the Chargers did not hurry up that time. So 2nd and 11. Neiman Neiman gets the handoff from Williams, and a small gain and a lot of pursuit there by the Panthers. That was a good defensive play.
Yeah, I have to say the defense is playing very well
Short
tonight.
gain
Yeah.
on the play.
Definitely,
That'll
there's
make it 3rd and 10.
there are some things that can't be taught, just natural reactions and instincts, and it looks like the Panthers are showing that a lot. They're flowing to the football and following the initial handoff. So it's 3rd and 10 for the Chargers. This time they go 4 wide receivers. Quarterback is all by himself in the backfield. And he's going to keep it. This is a designed quarterback run. And I don't think they got as much as they were hoping to.
Number
I don't think
33,
so.
Tristan Charlemagne tackles number
The tackle was made by Charlemagne, senior.
21, Bryce Williams.
Looked like Riley
Gain
Reisman
of
flew
4
in
on
there
the
and
play,
slowed him
brings
down
it 4th
originally.
down and 6 at the 38.
So again, we get down to the same situation as we had in the first drive. 4th down, beyond midfield. This is the down that they scored the first touchdown on in the first drive. We'll see what the Chargers decide to do here. They certainly are going to go for it. See if the Panther defense can stiffen and get a stop. The quarterback is going to keep this one. Looking to roll out, and he has a receiver across the middle. That's number 3, Connor Bowden.
Pass completes.
And
number
he's
3,
brought down
Connor
inside the
Bowden, brought down
10-yard
number-
line by Charlie
Charlie
Beck.
Beck.
Number 10, Ryan Remley. Number 23, Riley
I
Reese.
feel like we just watched a replay.
Yeah.
The quarterback is a lefty, if I remember looking at that right. So they rolled him out to his
takes it
strong
all the way
hand.
down to the 8-yard line.
And it looked
It'll be
like the
first and
Chargers
goal.
had more receivers out there than we had people to cover. So I don't know if there was a miscommunication on the Panthers side or if that was just some confusion. Clock ticks under 5 minutes here in the first quarter. Williams takes the snap and hands off to Neiman. That's been a recipe for success. Not that time. Riley Reisman comes shutting in there from his linebacker position to make a tackle. Maybe a gain of 1. Looks like probably a gain of a half a yard only. It's going to be second and goal.
No gain on the play. Brings up second
Mr. Foxon,
and
did you go to the
second
game at
goal
Clark
from
last
the
week?
8, excuse me.
I did not get to
Okay,
that game.
I wasn't able to make it either. I had a trip, but I did listen to it on the radio. Clark is a very talented team, as is Hamlin, but I think they were competing a little better to start off than the way the game last week started. Let's see if the Panthers can keep the Chargers out of the end zone. A sweep here to the outside, and this again is Neiman. He seems to get almost every handoff.
Brought down
Holden
by
Slings left,
Holine
brought down
at
number
about the
21,
1 yard.
Holine.
Well, yeah, about the 1 yard line. So it's going to be a big
Brings up
third and goal
down
here.
on the 1 yard line.
Be important for the line to get a good push here on this short down yardage. Braden Schultz, Caleb Boyum, Tristan Charlin look like they're the linemen right now, along with some linebackers that won't be too far behind them.
So it's 3rd and 1. 3:16 on the clock.
And it's Neiman again, same guy. I'm not sure if he got in.
I don't think he did.
Looks like they're going to mark him short. Nice pursuit by the Panthers to get in and get off those blocks.
Neiman stuffed right at the
I
goal
think he
line.
got about a half a yard. We'll call it 4th and goal from the
23,
foot
Riley
line.
Reisman
There we go.
brings up 4th down.
Let's see if the Panthers can stiffen here. Student section's getting into it a little bit here, trying to persuade the boys. And it's a quarterback
And it makes
keeper,
it in.
and that's a touchdown. Williams calls his own number.
21, Bryce
That's hard to stop
Williams in for the
Yeah.
when you've
touchdown
only
for
got
the
9
Chargers.
defenders and you got to keep them from getting a foot.
Right.
So the score goes to 13-0 with 2:38 remaining in the first quarter. Again, they'll
Looks
go
like
for
they're
the
gonna
extra
kick.
point.
Beer
Yep,
knocked
and this
the
is
extra
number
point.
10, Hunter Burney, a junior. The quarterback is the holder, so you never know if there's going to be a trick. But it looks like it's a straight up. Good pressure by the Panthers, but it
And
got
it's
Nice
past and
kick,
it went
and
through.
it's in.
Yep. So it's
14-0.
14-0
2:38 on the clock.
Chargers.
So this is a little bit different perspective of us watching a football game, Mr. Fox. And we're not
Yeah.
on the field. We're not doing chains. We're up here in the warm, muggy booth. But this is kind of fun up here.
It is kind of fun. It's a different perspective for sure. Yeah, I usually do chains, so I'm right down there on the field.
I know you won't get run over up here.
Exactly.
You just never know when you're going to have the play come to your side on the sideline. You have to
Right.
jump
right.
out of the way.
Drop those chains quick.
Life expectancy is higher in the booth. That must be why the professionals, once they retire, they move up to the booth
Then
and
we'll
they
do-
broadcast for National Football League games. All right. We are going to get another kickoff here. Similar returners for the Panthers. The 2 juniors on the team, Charlie Beck and Riley Reisman, they're standing at their 10-yard line. And Hunter Burney, the guy who just kicked the extra point,
Burney
will
kick
tee
off.
it up.
Number 5, Charlie Beck, and number 23, Riley Reisman back to return for the Panthers.
It's always important for the Panther blockers to have their heads on a swivel. Looks like the ball blew off the tee. We'll reset things here. You never know when there's going to be a kick that's either intentionally or unintentionally kicked short. And it's a live ball once it gets to the 10 yards. So once it crosses midfield there where our first guys are, they got to fall on it. This kick is going to go down the middle, deep. and
Caught
it's
by Beck.
Beck's going to start at 30. Once he gets ahead of steam, it's hard to bring down. And it takes 2 Chargers to do so.
At
He gets
about
out.
the 36
Chuck Beck on the
yard
return
line.
brings it back to the 36.
Tackled by 7 and 16.
Tackled by number 7, Nicholas Moores,
16.
and number 16, Cameron Haas.
So the Panthers will start their run at 2 minutes and 34 seconds on the clock at the 36-yard line.
I like our home uniforms. The solid blue from head to toe, that's a really sharp look. And it's easy when the road team is all white. You can really tell the difference. Sometimes it's not as easy to see. A little bit different formation here. Only one back in the backfield. And there's an extra blocker. Holine's going to go deep, and he overshot everybody on that one. Intended for his senior tight end, Tristan Charlemagne.
Looked like he had a little hard time catching that one.
Well, and remember we said that the wind is blowing from left to right as you look at it on your screen. So right now it's at Holine's back, and you got to calculate that. You know, if the wind is only 5 miles an hour, it's not that big. But as I look at the flag, it's whipping pretty good. So
Yeah.
that'll definitely have an impact on throws.
So far it's staying pretty dry, though.
No rain. Yep. Keep an eye on that, obviously. Looks like the Panthers are going to pitch
Oline's
this
going to take it
wide.
himself.
And he got a couple.
Holine keeps it
Tackled by
himself.
big number 76, it looked like.
Brought down to number
That's
76,
John Rowe.
John Rowe after a gain of about 4. That'll make it third
Bring
and
us to
6.
third down
40-yard
and
line.
6.
All right. I'd like to see the Panthers get a good chunk here.
It would be nice,
Get
yeah.
a first down would be great, but just to get close enough to go for it on fourth. It's like
Timeout,
Coach
GPL.
Schleusner is going to take a timeout and talk things over here a little bit. So while we have a minute, since you are helping out with cross country this year, why don't you give us a little update on how the season's going so far?
It's going pretty well for us, actually. This is my first year helping with cross country, so I'm kind of the new one on the team. We have a heavy senior male team, which might be part of the reason why our football team is light on upperclassmen. But we have some fast runners, some talented runners, and we've been consistently placing with our boys varsity team for sure. Girls varsity, we've got 3 girls. One's a brand new runner to cross country, but she's talented. That's freshman Lizzie Katzenbach. We also have a couple junior girls, no senior girls on the varsity team.
And if I've been able to see some of the results in the paper, it sounds like every time that a boys team has beaten our varsity team, it's been a Class A school, which is the class above us. Is that
That
accurate?
would be correct, yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to the end of the season, the teams that we'll be competing against, we are finishing ahead of right now. And we're back to action. And it's a pitch, and it's loose. The ball's still rolling around. It looks like the Chargers did come up with it. That was some instant pressure from the Chargers that made that pitch kind of
Handoff was
difficult.
number 10, Ryan
Looks like
Remley.
Remley was the one that was
Fumble on
supposed
the
to
play.
be the ball carrier.
Cover
And
number 22,
a little
Mitchell
miscommunication between Holine and
Charger
Remley there. And
ball.
so that's a turnover. Just under 2 minutes
They'll take
remaining
over
here
on the 33
in
of
the first
and
quarter.
10.
So the Chargers have a short field here. It'll be really important for the Panther defense to step up. Looks like some other players are on the field now for the Panthers that I haven't seen out there yet. Number 25, playing the end. Nearest you is number 25. That's Nathan Bean. He's a freshman. Coaches like what they see with him so far, so see what he can do. Again, the Chargers spread it out. And we got some movement up front. We'll see how the officials sort this out. And the indication is a false start against the Chargers. So that'll cost them 5. And we'll do it over at 1st and 15. They'll move the ball back to the 38-yard line. Have the Panthers had a flag yet?
I haven't
I
seen
don't
a
think
flag
I've
on the
seen one.
Panthers
So
yet.
a
No.
couple on the Chargers, none on the Panthers so far. So disciplined football as far as avoiding penalties is concerned. Same formation for the Chargers. And it's a quarterback keeper all the way, trying to get to the outside. Another flag is thrown as the runner gets outside close to the first down marker, but there's a penalty flag sitting right at the line of scrimmage, and this one's coming back. Good pressure by the Panthers to force the holding penalty. And the Chargers are going to be backing up closer to midfield here. There certainly will be an accepted penalty by the Panthers. I think it would have been a first down run had they not
Oh, yeah,
taken the
definitely.
penalty. And once we get this sorted out, it'll be first and even longer for Hamlin. has the cross-country team raced against Hamlin since we're playing Hamlin here?
You
Ball will
know,
be placed on
I should know the
49
answer to
yard
that
line.
question.
I only ask because their
But-
baby blue color
Brings up
is
first and
pretty unique. You don't see that in many of the other schools that we face.
Yeah.
But all right, setting up here, 1st and 25. Good chance for the Panthers to maybe make a stop, but there's good blocking on
25
this
has
first
it. He's
play.
running.
Chance Neiman. I told you we'd hear his name a
Not
lot tonight.
quite
Gets
enough for a
outside
first
for big
down,
gain.
but a great gain for
Brought
Hamlin.
down by number 21.
Probably
Aiden
give him
Lane.
about 23 yards on that handoff. Looked like Hamlin just ran it to the side where there weren't as many defenders, and
They're
Gain
putting
of
it down at about the
23 on that
25
play.
yard
Second
line.
and
That's
2
2 to go
at the 30
for their first down.
25 yard line, excuse me.
so 2nd and we'll call it 2.
About a minute left on the clock.
How much you want to bet that this goes to number 25?
I think that's a fair guess.
A guy in motion, and here comes Neiman.
225.
And not a huge gain, but it is going
Enough
to be enough.
for a first down.
Aiden Holeen came in from his safety
Brought down
position
by
and
number
made the
21,
tackle,
Aiden
but
Lane.
it was still a
Back
gain
for a
of
Charger
4
first
yards.
down.
So the ball's down on the 21 yard line,
It'll
and
be
Hamlin's
first and
going for
10
a
on
first and 10.
right about the 21 yard line.
Three wides again, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Chance Neiman right beside the quarterback Williams. He takes a snap and gives it off to Neiman. Makes one defender miss, the second, and finally wrapped down by number 5, Charlie
Number
Beck.
25, Neiman finally
Give
brought
Neiman a
down
gain
number
of
5,
maybe
Charlie
7
Beck.
yards, as this will probably take us to the end of the first quarter. Doesn't look like Hamlin has any desire to get
Gain of 8
another
yards.
snap
Which
off.
Yeah.
It'll be 2nd and 4 actually. And that'll do it for the first quarter. After 1, the Hamlin Chargers
All right,
14,
so there's the
Great Plains
official
Season
end of the
Panthers
quarter. We're at
0.
zeros. 14-0 is the score here.
We'll be starting back up at the 18 yard line.
Yep, we'll have to flip the field. So now we get to play on the baseball diamond side here. It's always a little bit of a different dynamic when you don't have grass to plant on, both in the line and for skilled position people. So Mr. Fox, and I know you're a cheesehead Packer fan. Packers
I
are
am.
off to a 1-0 start.
Yes, that was a
That's
great
always
game
nice.
the other night.
And Falcons this weekend.
This weekend, okay.
Should be a tough one.
That's on Sunday, right?
It's on Sunday night. Yep, it'll be on
Fortunately, I'm going to miss that one.
national television. It's always nice in South Dakota when the Packers are on local TV.
Right.
For those of you that are booing us from your television set right now, the Vikings also are off to a good start. And I'll admit, as a Packer fan, they look pretty good on Monday night. So we'll see. I know the Vikings fans would just love to win the Super Bowl this year, being that the actual Super Bowl game is in Minneapolis. But a lot of football to play, as they say.
Yes.
Give me a blue Gatorade. I did it. Thank you.
And they flipped sides of the field now. Panther defense is trotting out there. We'll get yourself set here. It's going to be 2nd down and along 3 yards. Ball's placed at the 14-yard line, looks like. You know, honestly, Mr. Foxon, I think that Hamlin would have expected to have a bigger lead at this point than what it is. So
Yeah.
you don't want to be losing, but there are some really nice things that are happening. This is Neiman on the first play after the quarter break, brought down by Aiden Holeen. Those two have met more than once so far tonight. And the Panthers' defense kept them to a small gain, but that gain was
First
enough
down.
to
Enough.
move the chains. And I'm not sure. It's right by the 10-yard line.
First and 10, just shy of the 10-yard line.
And the way that they marked it, it is technically possible for the Chargers to pick up a first down without scoring a touchdown, but the lines are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
All right, there's a late substitution onto the field for the Panthers.
He's wide open.
And the handoff goes to Neiman, and looks like that was no gain on
Handoff
that
to
play.
Neiman,
Lots of
brought down
Panther
by
defenders in that
number
one.
23,
Yeah.
Riley Reisman.
Reisman
Number
was
21,
involved there.
Holeen.
51, Austin Biller was involved there.
No gain
Number
on the
21,
play.
Aiden Holene's always involved.
Gain of 1, actually.
Is this Austin Biller's first game back since his?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I get to deal with all the concussion protocol, and unfortunately that young man had a concussion the first game against Waverly South Shore, and he's missed a couple games, but now medically cleared and able to play. I know he's excited to get back out there.
Yes, for sure.
And Williams is going to keep it himself here and lowers the head on Holeen. Short of a touchdown.
Number 21 and number 5. Number 21,
like about
Holeen
the
and 5,
4-yard.
back, bring down Williams on the keeper.
That's
Gain
always
of about
dangerous when the
6
quarterback
in play to
keeps it, because
third
you got all
and 4.
those blockers
Number 4.
try to stop him. So it sets up 3rd and 4. Panthers again, if they can really stiffen up here and get a stop, that'd be good. And Neiman on an end around, looking for the end zone,
And in.
and he's in. Looked like our blockers were trying to get off of blocks, but
Touchdown by number 25.
unable to stop
Chance
Neiman. once he gets the
Brings-
momentum going, it's hard to stop.
Brings Hamlin up to 20. Panthers still at 0.
Bernie on for the extra point.
Junior Hunter Burney again is the kicker. Now he's got the wind at his back. See if that affects the kicking game. It's a low kick,
And it does affect the kick.
And the kick is good.
but it was high enough to get over. That was a rocket. Low kick, but it made it over. So a chance for the Panthers here to respond. 21-0.
Ten minutes, 10 seconds on the clock.
For those of you that regularly watch Panther Athletics on YouTube, maybe you were able to check in with the volleyball team last night. They had a home game against Wabash Summit, a conference team, and won the match in 4 games. Excuse me, they won 3 sets to 1. It's always nice to win conference games. I know they're in action again next week, Tuesday at home against Sisseton, so check back in then for the next live streamed event.
Number 23, Riley Reisman back to receive, as well as number 5.
Same
Charlie
setup
back.
here with Bernie kicking off and Beck and Reisman deep for the Panthers. This one falls at the feet of Beck. He picks it up, and he just keeps dragging defenders. How far did he get, Mr. Foxen?
Brought down at a 31.
Number 16, Cameron Haas there tackles Charlie on the return.
All right.
Brings it up to the 32-yard line.
Quarterback Aiden Holeen returns back to the huddle with a play from Coach Schleusner. Let's see if the Panthers can move the football here and show some life on offense. A new formation for this game. And it's a pitch to the outside, and cutting in to make the tackle, number 25, Chance Neiman. He's doing everything on offense and defense. I don't know if you saw that, Mr. Foxen, or not, but that was a very odd defensive alignment. They only had about 2 guys on the line of scrimmage, and then the rest of them were all in a line. I don't know if that's a wrinkle that they just threw in for one play. We'll see if they do it again, because that was Very unique. We'll leave it at that. It worked. There's a tackle of about 4 or 5 yard loss on that sweep.
Got 2nd and 15 on the 27.
Helene in the shotgun, flanked by both Reisman and Remley. And we're going to have a pass play here. Helene throws it. It looks like he's just going to throw it away. He was under pressure there by number 25, Chance Neiman.
21, Helene throws it away. Number 25, Neiman applying the pressure there.
And looks like they're actually going to throw a flag on this. I'm not sure what this is about. They signal that it was intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding is the call. That'll be a 5-yard penalty against GPL.
Let's see what they do here. They're marking it off. Yeah, I wasn't not sure how they came to that decision because Helene was running for his life. He was definitely outside the tackle box, and it looked like the pass got past the line of scrimmage, but nonetheless the call is made, and the Panthers get backed up another 5 yards. It's 3rd and 20 now. Helene takes the snap. He's going to drop back to pass. Throws it out to the outside, and it is caught by Ryan Remley, the senior. It's not enough for a first down. It was 3rd and quite long, but that was a nice throw. And in order to have a nice throw, you need to have time. And the line provided that time for Helene that time. I'm saying time a lot. It's 4th and 10 for the Panthers after a 10-yard gain on that pass. A little senior-to-senior connection. Panthers are lined up in punt formation here. Tristan Charlemagne, the punter. That's a low snap, but he handles it. And he gets the kick away, but it was partially blocked and fielded by the quarterback for the Hamlin Chargers, actually, number 21, Bryce Williams. And he was tackled immediately there. Did you see who made that play on the quarterback?
I did not.
Maybe 22, Josh Roberts, or 21, Aiden Helene. They're both in the area. Regardless, the punt did not go as far as planned, and the Chargers will start at the Panther 47. Score, again, is 21-0. Clock says 8:24 remaining until halftime. Panther defense has been put to the test here. They've been on the field a long time, but see if they can continue to make plays. Man comes in motion again, per usual. And Williams has to run around a little bit, but he makes a play to number 28. Making that catch was Nash Grantham, a sophomore. And he runs down inside the red zone to about the 15-yard line.
About 30 yards on that play.
That'll be a first down for the Chargers, and the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
You know what? Like I said, I wasn't at the Clark game last week, but from what I heard on the radio, it sounds like the most success that Clarkville Lake had was throwing the ball. And we're seeing that here. Whenever Hamlin hands the ball off, they do get yards, but they don't get big plays. The Panthers are making the tackle within 3 to 5 yards. It's been the passing plays that have caused the problems. We have some dirty laundry on the floor here. Let's see what we got. The signal is that the Chargers lined up offsides. That's the one you don't see very often. You just got to look at where the ball is and make sure you're lined up in the right spot. A little bit of a lack of awareness. Panther defense won't complain, though. So we'll back it up 5 yards and try 1st and 15.
On the 15. On the 20. Again?
Williams is in the shotgun again. Man in motion and the handoff.
And that goes to number 20.
Yep, that's the same guy that caught the long pass. That's Grantham.
Nash Grantham on the carry, brought down eventually by number 33, Tristan Charlemagne.
Give him a gain of 3. Tristan Charlemagne, number 33, made the tackle. The original pressure there was by the safety, Aiden Holeen, who made him cut back inside. That's really the key to those, Mr. Foxen. If you can keep them from getting outside the numbers, when that guy comes with so much speed, they just want to get around the whole defense. So cutting that off was a big play there, and then Charlemagne cleaned it up. Good teamwork there. We'll call it 2nd down and 12. Again, Williams is ready to take the shotgun snap here with the man in motion. Looks like the same play. And falling down is the ball carrier. Again, that looked like that was 28. I'm waiting for him to turn.
Yeah, 28.
Yep. Okay, Nash Grantham's getting more carries. It's been the Neiman show.
Number 5, Charlie Beck.
We got Chance and we got Nash, first names of the ball carriers. Try not to get those mixed up.
3rd and about 7 on the 14.
Looks like there are some
Timeout.
whistles, and the Panthers are going to take a timeout here. Give the defense a chance to get some water, catch their breath. Big 3rd down play here. It's 3rd and 8. Again, an opportunity to limit the damage after giving up a short field on that block punch not too long ago. The clock says 6:19, and Mr. Foxen, I'm looking at the skies.
Yeah, they look. I was thinking that same thing. They're a weird pinkish looking.
Ominous. Ominous looking. It is sunset time, which hopefully is contributing to it more so than any system moving in.
Concession stand. We've got hot dogs tonight. They might be organic.
For you football fans, as you're looking at future events here for the Panther football team, next weekend, well, next Friday, the Panther team will be on the road, and they will be playing in Webster. That's an opponent that we haven't played for a few years. Then the next home game is in 2 weeks. And the opponent that night is the Dakota Hills Grizzlies. That's homecoming night, so hopefully we'll have plenty of alums that can make it back to Watertown for that game. So the next time that you can come to Watertown and see the Panthers or to check in on the live stream will be in 2 weeks. I believe the date of that is the 29th. Friday the 29th. Anyways, we're back to action here. 3rd and 8. And this time the quarterback is going to keep it and roll out. He's had success going this way in the past. A short pass.
To number 3.
And it's forced out of bounds short of the end zone, but it looks like he has first down yardage. That's Connor Bowden,
Williams
a
pass.
junior.
Number 3, Connor Bowden.
Number 23, Riley Reisman, and number 10.
Number 23, Riley Reisman. And, number 10,
And that'll
Ryan
set up
Bowden.
1st and goal.
Tackle there to be first down for the Chargers.
First down? First down and 1 to go.
Ball will be right on the 1 yard line.
Not sure how much of our microphones are picking things up. Perhaps you hear Mr. Rodewald on the stadium, but also you might be here in the student section. We're right above them, so if you hear cheers and whatnot, that's the genuine GPL support squad going on right there. This sweep is handed off, reaching for the goal line, but he's going to come up short. That again is Nash Grantham, the 5'11" sophomore.
In the middle there, brought down by number 23, Riley Reisman. No gain on the play.
Riley Reisman, the middle linebacker, prevented that touchdown. 2nd and goal here now. Again, it's odd. Here we have the quarterback lining up under center. Watch out for that sneak. Yep, here it comes. The Panthers are more ready for it this time. And he barely snuck in. Boy, there was about 3 Panthers that were right in the line of the play.
Touchdown.
And he just wiggled and snuck his way just past the line. So that moves the score to 27-0. Time on the clock is 5:25 remaining here in the first half. On to do the kicking duties again is Hunter Burney.
We have an announcement for the man waiting for the nachos. The cheese is ready.
And this kick again is quite low, but it sneaks in.
That's
The
good.
extra point is good.
Amber texted me and said to ask that.
5 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock. Score is 28 to Hamlin, with 0 for the Panthers tonight.
You know, in our conference, in the Eastern Coteau Conference, where we're part of, all 8 of our opponents are conference teams, and it seems as though there are levels that different teams fall in. There are about 3 teams that make up the top tier, Hamlin being one of them. As we mentioned last weekend, we played Clark Little Lake. They certainly seem to be one of those 3 teams as well. So in back-to-back weeks here, the Panthers are playing some of the top teams that they have on their schedule. And some would say that this game should probably be more of a difference than what it is at this point. With just under half a quarter to go here till halftime, and it being 28-0. In South Dakota, there are some mercy rules that kick in when the spread gets to be a certain amount, and the big one is 50. If the difference gets to be more than 50, the game ends as long as the game is at halftime or in the second half. And I think some people would say this game should be over at halftime, but at the rate that we're going, that's not going to be the case.
Yeah, I don't
and that's
think that's
partly
gonna
due
happen.
to the defense and how they've been making the tackles on those running plays. Here's a ball that's rolling on the ground, picked up by Beck. He's going to try the right side. And a whole bunch of bodies pile up at about the 30-yard line there. Some tough running there at the end by Charlie Beck.
By kind of a swarm of Chargers.
Looks like everyone's okay. And the Panthers will set up shop again at the 30.
First and 10 for the Panthers, right about the 30-yard line.
You know, it might sound odd, Mr. Foxon, to say, hey, we're not down by as much as some people might think, but this is an elite team. This is a program that's very good. I mentioned there are 3 teams that kind of make the top tier. This is the second the Panthers have seen, and there's one other one, that's Britton Hecla. We played them the last game of the year. Hamlin and Britton Hecla played it the first game of the year, and Hamlin beat them, which put them in the driver's seat as far as winning the conference. So we'll see if the Panther offense can get things going here against this top team. Pauline has some troubles with the pass, but he throws it to Reisman, who catches it, but is tackled immediately. A little bit of a tough exchange.
35-yard.
We have a flag down in the backfield. This could be anything. Looks like it's going to be holding called against the Panthers. So this will be an interesting call for the Chargers. The Panthers lost yardage on the play, so it could either be like 2nd and 14 or 1st and 20. So let's see what they do here. Looks like they're going to take the play. They're going to burn the down. So it's we'll call it 2nd and 15. Ball's resting at the 25-yard line.
Penalty is declined. It'll make it 2nd and 15 from the 25.
Kind of like the idea there, Mr. Foxon, of getting the ball to one of your premier runners out in space. It didn't work that time. The guy made the tackle, but it might be easier than running right up the middle every time.
Right.
Oline's going to sprint out to the right this time, and his pass is deflected, and it falls incomplete. A diving attempt there by, guess who, number 25, Chance Neiman, but the ball harmlessly hits the turf, and that's going to set up a 3rd and long here for the Panthers. I'd like to be able to see the line give quarterback Holine a little bit more time in order to see some receivers.
Excuse me.
So we're at 3rd and 15 on the 25-yard line, about 4 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the half.
Roberts, the lone wide receiver. Holine takes the snap. Looks like he's looking for him. Over the middle. There was contact, but no flags. There is a flag in the backfield, but there was no flags where the contact downfield was. Again, the call is for holding.
That's going to be a hold against the Panthers.
Being up here, we're not going to ever have any numbers for you, so we won't know who particularly this was on. Coach Schleusner is getting an explanation as to perhaps who it was. The Chargers will decline this. That sets up 4th and long, which will force the Panthers to punt again. And I would assume that this is Charlemagne time to get this punt away.
Back to punt for the Panthers, fresh out of Redwood Falls. That's number 33, Tristan Charlemagne.
And the snap was a good one. The punt is a very high one. and it lands, and it's going to roll a little bit in the Panthers' direction, and we'll have it down at the 48-yard line. Again, the wind blowing from left to right had a big impact on that punt. Looked like it kind of just hung up there with that. I don't want to call it a gale because certainly not hurricane-like winds, but a good old South Dakota stiff breeze, we'll call it. All right, let's get you up to speed on who's out there for the Panther defense. We'll start with the line. Looks like number 18, Braden Schultz. 51, Austin Biller. 25, that's Nathan Bean. Charlie Beck is a linebacker. Tristan Charleman's a linebacker. We'll do the secondary on the next play. Williams again rolling out left, has a receiver, and that pass is incomplete. Trying to contact Chance Neiman there out in the flat, and they could not
Williams pass incomplete, intended for number 25.
make that connection. 2nd and 10.
Nobody gets credit.
That was just a straight up draw.
As we continue on, more and more dark clouds are making their way in the area. I'm going to try to double dip here and look at the radar and check out Mr. Fox, and you can take this play. I'm going to see what the radar looks like.
Pass off to number 28. He brings it up the middle and is brought down by 25 at the 40-yard line.
Nathan Bean on the tackle for the Panthers.
And 28 was Nash Grantham again.
Takes it over to the 40-yard line. Good game there. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Yeah, we did. We got kicked in the first one.
So we did. Yeah. We did.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's when I did the defense.
yeah, you're correct.
3rd and 2. He has a hard time keeping the ball, but the quarterback is going to run it up and make the first down.
Oh, my.
And he's still going, bringing it all the way in for a touchdown.
Some missed tackles there by the Panthers
Bryce Williams
on
breaks a whole
that.
bunch of tackles there and rushes in. So a 40-yard touchdown run.
Tristan Charlman, Caleb Roberts. Yeah. Tristan Charlman, Caleb Roberts, Nathan
My
Bean.
phone is struggling a little bit here in the stadium.
Brings the score to 34-0 at 3.5 minutes left in the half. Hamlin setting up for another field goal kick for the extra point. That one falls short.
A little bit left.
So the score will stay at 34-0.
As I look at the radar, Mr. Fox, and you can take a look at this too, everything's coming up from the south. And as I look to the south, there are some cells that are working their way. Actually, they're by Hamlin County, as Hamlin's the next county over. So they might be getting rain over on their campus. So I would anticipate a little bit of precipitation falling.
Pretty soon here, yeah.
Mr. Odewald is reminding everybody, and we will take this advantage too. You're able to hear us because of Vast Broadband. They're providing our internet services out here at the Watertown Stadium. We want to thank them for their generosity and making this a possibility.
I had them as my cable company. They were great. I wanted to. Who? We have big Vast. No, Vast is so good. No, at my house we have Vast. I'm getting 80 down. At school we have, so you get like, or a kid on the student network.
And we're back into the kickoff position.
My internet was amazing last year.
Again, Bernie's going to kick this one off. This one is a
Low kick, but bounces back to Riley Reisman.
Oh, it's still bounding. If it makes the end zone, it's a touchback, and that's what's going to
That's
happen.
what happens.
Probably the best thing after a while. When that football's just flopping around, you just have no idea where it's going to go. So a touchback will put the ball on the 20-yard line. 3:31 remain here before halftime.
Oh my gosh. Holy cow.
Sacked by
53.
Incomplete pass.
Well, his pass there is incomplete. Boy, he took a hard hit.
yeah.
All right. Hamlin got really roughed up on that last pass. He's going to have to shake that one off. He's a senior, you know he's going to try to do whatever he can to stay in the game, and he's proven his toughness over the years, so he probably doesn't feel very good, but he's going to give the next play a go. As we continue to watch this weather that may be coming in, for those of you that are watching us live right now, if there is precipitation in more than just a sprinkle, we may not be able to, with our technology exposed, we may not be able to continue providing football. If there's lightning, that might be the end of the game regardless. So
Pass was handed off to number 10, Ryan Remley.
Remley,
Tackle
yeah.
number 3, Connor Bowden.
Looked like there was a chance there for Emily to get some yardage, but the
Green
defender was able to get off that block.
About 1 yard, it looks like. So they're at 3rd and 9 now. About 3 minutes left.
You know, and as we're looking at this, and as you're viewing this, we are looking directly south, which is where the weather's coming from. And I'm not sure what angle our cameras are. I don't know if you can see the horizon, but it is dark, and we're just watching for flashes right now because it appears as though we're going to get that sooner than later. Holine's going to keep this one, and he's trying to get around the outside. He leads a couple tacklers, but the pursuit catches up to him.
Down by 22 and
Number 22,
13.
Mitchell Nome, and number
That's
13,
Mitchell
Caleb
Nome
Haas.
and Caleb Haas that made that tackle.
4th down.
Holine does have a lot of success usually getting around the edge, but just too many Charger defenders. And that's when I watched them play Britton Heckler in the beginning of the year, that's the one thing that stood out to me too, is defensively they're just very stout. Panthers aren't getting a lot to go on offense tonight, and that's not really as much an indication of the Panther offense as it is the skill of the defense.
so Panthers are going to punt here. Charlemagne getting set up to do that.
Good snap.
Another high one. Not too many yards gained.
Oh, good bounce though, going deep into, now we'll actually get across midfield.
At about the
We'll call it the
49.
50, yeah, that's right about there.
49.
Oh, there was a good lightning strike.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
Yeah, they're gonna, the lightning's incredible. So it's really cool.
We're just keeping our eye out with the officials. There's a minute and 39 seconds till halftime. I think perhaps they're just thinking, as
Waiting
long as
for
the
the
lightning is
halftime.
still on the horizon, if we can get to halftime, that might be the decision that's being made. As long as, obviously, if it gets closer before, then they'll have to
That's a long for
make a call.
go for it. Long for it.
Williams and Neiman line up together in the backfield. And Williams is going to keep this one. He's under pressure. He's going to throw it deep.
A long throw.
And
And
incomplete. Boy, he had a guy.
Intended for number 30, Cade Poppin.
Cade Poppin was loose.
Incomplete.
But Charlemagne, and I forget who the other guy was now, good pressure in the backfield, making Williams panic and throw it just a little bit off. That's all it takes sometimes is just a little pressure to make the brain work a little bit faster.
Second and 10, about a minute, 32 seconds left on the clock.
And this time the
Hand off
handoff,
to 28.
that's Grantham, I believe. He keeps weaving back and forth and finally brought down by,
About the 35-yard line.
looks like Charlie Beck was the Panther that finally brought him down.
So that's a gain of 15.
Brought down by number 5, Charlie Beck. Will be a Charger first down at the 35-yard line.
Probably the most nervous person in the stadium right now is Coach Guthmiller. Her girls are set to do their color guard routine at halftime, barring dry conditions. So she's got to be
It's their debut of the season.
hoping that the clock runs out here and they can do their gig before we get drenched. Williams rolls to the right this time, takes a big hit by Charlemagne, goes deep,
Nice throw. It is
and incomplete. That pass is blocked, knocked away by Aiden Holeen playing center field out there. Literally playing center field on the baseball field.
32, Devin Wheelberg.
Big pressure by Charlemagne there in the backfield, putting a big hit on Williams. That sets up 2nd down and 10. Again at the 35-yard line. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go here. Again, a man in motion. This time the quarterback is going to keep it. That's Williams going up the middle, and he's tackled by Holeen. And looks like he's going to gain about 9 yards. Be short of a first down.
short of a first down.
Tick, 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 tick. Down under 50 seconds now. I don't remember Hamlin taking any timeouts this half, so they should have 3 remaining. Hopefully, for the weather's sake, they don't take them. Hamlin hustles to the line. By the time they snap, it will be under 30 seconds. Williams is going to have a throwback, and there's a lot of blockers and a lot of space.
Goes to 28.
Looks like it's going to be close to the end zone. Nash Grantham is going to be forced out of bounds inside the 5.
Pass complete to number 28.
That was a bit of a trick play there. They
Big gain on the play.
started the play going off to the left and threw it back to the right.
23, Riley Reisman.
14 seconds left on the clock. The score is 34-0.
First down and goal.
And it's stopped. It will not start till the ball is snapped again. So this
First and
might
goal.
be the last play of the half. Let's see if the Panthers can get him, keep him out of the end zone here before halftime. Quarterback keeper Williams up the middle, and he's in. Touchdown.
For a touchdown. That brings the score to 40-0.
Touchdown Chargers.
And there's 8 minutes remaining on the clock.
8 seconds.
8 seconds, 8 minutes. Let's not go back in time.
And a kick for the extra point.
Again, Bernie on the place kicking duties. He is 4 for 5, I believe, if I got my numbers right. This one is a solid kick straight through the uprights. And so our score moves to 41-0. One more play, perhaps, maybe a second, depending on how long the kickoff takes, remaining here in the first half. Looks like the crowd is anticipating some rain because there's a lot of movement. A lot of fans are dispersing.
Band is getting ready to play again. Flags are down, ready to get onto the field.
Yeah, they're kind of using the flags as blankets right now. I'm not sure what the temperature is. It's cold air coming in from the window. It's warm still up in the booth. We don't have any ventilation. So
It's
this,
showing 73 degrees out there right now.
girls, it will get colder. It gets much colder. All right, Panthers are taking the field here to return the kickoff. We'll see. It's like we got the same 2 returners back deep. Other members of the kick return team are Charlemagne, Schultz, Sean Pluger, number 40, Nathan Bean, 25. Let's see who else. 22, Caleb Roberts, 17, Pierce Holeen, 24, Jan Endringa, and then the 2 back that we said. And this time it will
Long
be
kick.
Reisman from the 10-yard line. He's fast. If he can get around the edge, he can go for a while, and he's trying
Going
to.
pretty good.
And he's
Brought down
finally-
eventually at the 39-yard line.
That'll take us to halftime. And I'll be honest, folks, I'll be surprised if we have anything more. We're going to have the color guard routine. Maybe we can get that zoomed in so you can see them do their thing. Both teams are heading to the locker rooms. I'm sure that we'll have some discussions here as to what we do moving forward. But we're going to, why don't we sign off for right now, Mr. Foxon, and then if we're able to get back into it, we will. Again, the halftime score is 41-0, and actually I just got a lightning warning on my phone 3 miles away. So
Yeah,
we're
lightning
gonna-
will stop a game for about What, a half an hour?
Half an hour, and it resets every time that there's another strike. So we're going to try to keep the feed rolling for a minute or two so we can do the color guard, and then we'll probably pull it for our technology's sake. So for right now, I want to thank you all for watching, those of you that are watching live or those of you that decide to watch it later on. Again, our halftime score and possibly the final for this evening, the Hamlin Chargers 41 and the Panthers 0.
Miranda
Turn us
Pisek,
off where we were at.
Deanna Christensen, and Jocelyn Gosh. Color guard is choreographed by Rachel Duvall and Becky Beeger, and they are assisted by Allison Van Veen, and the head coach is Mrs. Linda Guthmiller.
That's how we have to start it.
Did Mr. Hamlin tell you? We're cutting it after half.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world famous GPL color guard. And also the world famous GPL pep band.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Due to rain and lightning, the live stream will be turned off, and most likely the game will be delayed for tomorrow. Thank you for connecting with us in the live stream, and we expect you guys to watch us soon. Have a great night.
Are you sure that it's being called?
Ladies and gentlemen, due to the weather that you can see the lightning in the horizon, this game is officially final. We are calling the game here at halftime. Please take care. Don't get rained on. Don't get electrocuted. Evacuate the area as rain is on the way.
Free popcorn at the concession stand. Get it! Attention, attention, free popcorn at the concession stand, not a drill.